Well, good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. I thought I'd pop in and share with you another book from my extensive collection. This time, the subject matter is, as you can see by the name of the book, Comics Ad Men by Stephen Brower. I grew up in a time where in the 70s and 80s and somewhat into the 90s, you would see advertising that was done, by comic book artists and whatnot. And I always loved them. I remember I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. So my dad would get the Washington Post newspaper. And on Sundays in the early 80s, right around 1983, there was this ad called Milkman. And it was a superhero ad, and I didn't know who drew it. I didn't know anything about it except it was for real milk, and it was in the comic strip section of the newspaper. And all I knew was I loved it, and I had this image of it. And then lo and behold, we get into the 2000s, and there's Facebook, and you can see stuff on Facebook that brings you back to your childhood. And I think it was Jerry Ordway posted the ad. So I contacted Jerry and I said, "Do you have a high res of it?" And he said, "I sure do." So he sent me a high res scan of this ad from when I was a kid. I saw it in newspapers, and lo and behold, it's by one of my favorite artists, Neil Adams. So it immediately took me back to my childhood with the Sunday newspaper and just looking at this. And I remember cutting it out as a kid and obviously losing it at some point along the way. But this ad, The Adventures of Milkman, drawn by Neil Adams, and I just loved it. And, we all saw the ads for Twinkies and things like that were in Marvel and DC Comics featuring their characters, Spider-Man, Captain America, the Hulk, and Superman, and Green Lantern, Batman. And I always loved that stuff. So anyhow, this book came out last year called Comics Ad Men. And I never, didn't know anything about it, just went to Amazon and ordered it, sight unseen besides the cover. So I thought we'd go through it together. This is a piece by Dick Brown. So here's the table of contents. And if you can't read it, I'll read you the names in it. We've got Sidney Smith, E.C. Cigar. So those are two guys I'm not familiar with, but I'm familiar with Al Cap, Mel Graff, Frank Robbins, DC Comics, Marvel Comics fame, plus, comic strip artist. Vic Herman, Clifford McBride, Sheldon Moldoff, Basil Wolverton, Noel Sickles, Jacob Landau, Otto Suglow, don't know him, Dick Brown and Gil Fox, Dick Brown, Gil Fox, and Roland Coe, Virgil Parch, Gil Fox, Bill Williams, Hank Ketchum of Dennis the Menace fame, Roland Coe, Martin Stein, Paul Fung, Young and Rubicon, Johnston and Cushing, which Johnston and Cushing was a famous ad agency back then that Neil Adams actually worked for and I believe got his start at. And they would obviously be hired to produce these ads. Stan Drake, Lou Fine, Craig Flessel, Jack Betts, Bob Boog, Kelly Freyas, Alex Kotsky, George Roussos, Tom Schuer, Neil Adams, Dick Ayers, Mort Meskin, Joe Simon, Wallace Wood, Ken Penders, John Romita, Ross Andrew, Mike Esposito, Daniel Clowes, and Jack Davis. Whew! just to name a few. So let's just go through the book. So we've got a brief little introduction here. This piece of artwork on this side is by the famous and most awesome Jack Davis. He would use either watercolor or dyes to color his work. Martin Odell, creator of Green Lantern, Pillsbury Doughboy, right there. Let's see. Yeah, so Martin Odell, co-creator of Green Lantern, Pillsbury Doughboy. Check that out. Some more just cartoons above this piece right here. Famed Golden Age comic artist Lou Fine did Going to Town with Paul Guignon in the early 1950s. It was a regular magazine feature that was actually a form for sponsors. And some more examples. This is a concept by Kevin Penders from Motorola. So this really goes from the early days in, say, the 50s all the way up to probably maybe late 90s, early 2000s. I've had this book for a while, so forgive me if I forget some stuff. So this is some Sidney Smith and EC cigar stuff on this page. Here we've got Al Cap. Cream of Wheat licensed his character's Little Abner to do a one-page strip to advertise Cream of Wheat. I mean, this is just so gorgeous. I so wish this was still done. This is Mel Graff. Secret Agent X9 and Captain Easy is what he was known for, and this is an ad for Dr. Lyon's tooth powder. Tooth powder. Gross. This is Frank Robbins, who we all know from Batman and Johnny Hazard, doing a Dr. Lyon's tooth powder ad as well. Tooth powder. Ugh. Gross. This one is by Frank as well. Here we've got Kellogg's Pep storyboard by Vic Herman, who is known for the comic strip Little Dot. So that's pretty cool. This one over here is Elise the Cow art by creator Vic Herman. Yes, I'm old enough to remember who Elsie, I said Elise, Elsie the Cow is. Clifford McBride, who is known for Napoleon and Uncle Elby, did Red Heart dog food. Opposite page, Hawkman Batman artist Sheldon Moldoff did some advertising illustration work. And this stuff paid well. Val S says, "Hey Andy, how you doing?" Let me just hey man, I'm doing good. Thanks for joining the show. Little midday stream, just going through some old advertising art by cartoonists. This is Basil Wolverton. Over here, Noel Sickles doing some ad stuff. You know, the one complaint I have about this book is they don't show enough. I think this book could have easily been, I don't know, 250, 300 pages. And that's that. I would like to have seen more by these guys. Here's another Noel Sickles on both these pages. This is cool. It looks really old. The ads are all so far from the 40s and 50s. So the book's not old. The book just came out last year, but these ads are from the 40s and 50s when a lot of cartoonists were hired to draw ads. Powerhouse Candy Bar. Dick Brown of Hagar the Horrible and High and Lois fame. There's another one by Dick Brown for Powerhouse Candy Bars. I'd still love to see ads like this. Peter Paul Playhouse, Almond Joy, which is Almond Joy and Mountain, still around. Another Dick Brown ad. Another Dick Brown ad for Lipton tea. I think doing ads like this would be more eye-catching than just photographs these days. They would just, I would stop and look at them. Oh, he's busting chop. The Stone Age of comics. Oh, you ball buster. Um, yeah, I just think this stuff is more eye-catching than just a photograph. And I've been lucky enough, and I'll share my screen when I'm done going through the book of some ads I've done. Hey, Larry, how's it going? Of some ads I've done that unfortunately weren't seen by the mainstream because they were for business to business, which, like it sounds, is, you have to be in the business that I did the ads for to see them. But I was able to at least check it off my list. The Suffering Senator needs his Lipton tea. Dick Brown did a lot of stuff. This is Virgil Parch. Virgil Parch is known for Big George. So there you go. And this is Gil Fox. Gil Fox is also known for Torchy and High and Lois. I mean, tell me you wouldn't stop to read these ads. Some more by Gil Fox. The Folks Next Door, menthol, fast up and down relief. Goes up the nose and down the throat. Glad that was explained because I was like, whoa, what are they talking about? What's up, Pop Culture Avenger? Just going through a book of famous cartoonists and some of the ad work they did. This is Hank Ketchum on this page. And this page as well. So Hank Ketchum, Dennis the Menace fame. This is more Hank Ketchum where they actually licensed out Dennis the Menace for Cream of Wheat. These ads right here from the late 40s. I know some of the text is small. His Nibs, Nabisco Shredded Wheat by Roland Coe. Not sure who Roland Coe is. Let's see if it says over here. Yeah, it just says Roland Coe's cereal ad, so I'm not sure what he was known for. I'm sure a comic strip of some sort. I loved shredded wheat when I was a kid. Did you guys ever eat shredded wheat? Love that stuff. And I'm not talking mini shredded wheat, those little things. I'm talking the big chunks of shredded wheat that were like, the big logs of shredded wheat. This is Marvin Stein. Marvin Stein was known for Young Love, Justice Traps the Guilty. So these are some comics he did. "1001 Sales, Marvin Stein. Kirby Vacuums. I remember those as well. I just love the simplicity of this art style. These wrinkles are just so nice with this house and stuff. Oh, a simpler time. I love this. Look at the profile on this guy and how simple it is. And you just got, this is so Alex Tothy. And just the way he spotted the blacks on his suit and the shadows and stuff. This one too. Engine Insurance makes sales sense. Come on. Somebody got paid big bucks. They were in that room going, come on, we got to think of something for insurance for engines. Come on, engine insurance. What can it be? Wait a second. Engine insurance. Genius. Paul Fung was known for a strip called Dumb Dora. This is an ad for Pond's Cold Cream. Some more Paul Fun stuff for Ivory Soap. Wash that stink off. Young and Rubicam, I believe, was an ad agency. Yep. Young and Rubicam was one of the first large agencies to embrace comics as a form of advertising and continue to do so as evidenced by this ad in the 1950 ADC annual. And then on this page is Johnston and Cushing. Johnston and Cushing were regular advertisers in the Art Directors Club annual through the years. They said, I believe Johnston and Cushing, I think Neil Adams worked there. Don't quote me on that. You could always ask him on one of his live streams. This is some more Johnston and Cushing stuff. So is that. Here we've got beautiful art by Stan Drake, who is known for The Heart of Juliet Jones. And then later, Stan went on to do Blondie. Oh, man, this is gorgeous. From 1954. Stan Drake bringing realism to realistic cartooning is what I like to call it, because it's cartooning, but it's definitely has a nice realism to it. Some more Lou Fine. Lou Fine, one of the premier Golden Age comic book artists. Drew Doll Man and the Spirit. He did stuff for Johnston and Cushing once he got out of comics. This is also Lou Fine. Just so cool. Some more Lou Fine art. I don't exactly know what's being advertised. I love this right here. He just was like, you know what? The light's coming from the upper left down. We're just blacking out that side of his body. So nice. More gorgeous Lou Fine artwork. They really spotlighted Lou Fine. Lou Fine doing amazing facts about Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc starring Ingrid Bergman. Some more Lou Fine. The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer. Starring Cary Grant, Myrna Loy, and Shirley Temple. Look at that. Even advertising movies. So why isn't Marvel doing this? Advertising, and I'm not talking about the comics they put out, like prequels to the movies and stuff. Just do an ad like this for Avengers Endgame or, Black Widow, in Entertainment Weekly. Do a 2-page ad. Be eye-catching. Ever-Ready Batteries, ad by Craig Flessel. Craig Flessel, known for Detective Comics and Pep Morgan. I've heard of one of the two of those. A little more Craig Flessel. The Face in the Creeping Tide. Ever-Ready Batteries help find her. Look at that. See? They save lives. Ghost of the Silver Queen. Ever-Ready Batteries. Like Father, Like Son by Jack Betts for Nestle Sweet Cocoa. I remember as a kid growing up, we had these tins and we'd pop the lid off the tin and scoop out the chocolate mix to put in the milk. Val says, did you used to work for Marvel? I sure did. I apologize if this is a stupid question, but I don't know your history. It's not a stupid question, Val. That's fine. Go to my website, buddy, AndySmithArt.com. We'll be visiting it when I'm done going through this book. And I started, my first work at Marvel was Doctor Strange Annual that was inked by Alfredo Aikela and never saw print. And then my first print work for Marvel was my first monthly book, which was Quasar. And I actually did before that, I did a Captain America and Falcon pinup and a Crossbones pinup and a Captain America annual as well. More Jack Betts, Nettie Nestle, Nestle's chocolate drink mix. Peter Payne changes his tune with Ben Gay. Rub on that Ben Gay so Peter Payne can change his tune. Another one by Jack Betts. This is a book that I know my boy Fragaboom Dan Fraga would love. So hopefully at some point he'll see this video and he'll shoot me a message saying he bought the book, because I know he's bought a couple books that I've recommended. Peter Pan, Sergeant Bilko. Look at that. Sergeant Bilko Gets a Shock, by Bob Bug. Sergeant Bilko was from a sitcom. I remember that. So look at that. Even he's getting into the action. I mean, come on. How cool is that? Now, you're not going to see this anymore. It's an ad for Camel cigarette, a cartoon ad for Camel cigarettes. That's cool. That is cool. And I'm not talking about the cool cigarettes. And when I say cool, I'm not talking about cigarette smoking. I would never endorse that. I'm talking about the artwork. You know, he got the actor's likeness down. I remember this show, reruns. Reruns, of course. Not old enough to see it live. Did you work on Spider-Woman? I saw you on Indiegogo Spider-Woman sketch. I used to watch your cartoon when I was a kid. Spider-Woman. No, I didn't work on Spider-Woman. Nope. Not that I think. Nope, I didn't work on Spider-Woman. I just did that sketch cover for fun because I always liked that costume. I wish this was printed bigger, this Bob Bug one for Buster Brown, just to see the detail in it. Same with this. This would have been nice as two page spreads. Kelly Frias. And this was a billboard. So this thing was huge. And he was a Mad Magazine artist. Here we go. Alex Kotsky. Duke Candy. Philip Morris. Another cigarette ad. Man. Drawn very nice. But I'm not quite sure about pimping cigarettes in a cartoon ad. Here's another one. Duke Candy. My name's Duke Candy, and I only smoke the best. But look at this face. Just look how beautifully drawn that face is. I love these eyebrows, just the expression in the eyebrows. Adventures in Electricity by George Russo. Nice single page ads. The Network of Power. It's the Power Hour. Here we got Tom Schuer. I'm sure I screwed that up. Lost in the High Wilderness. Tom did some comic book work that was really nice as well. I believe Neil Adams was influenced by Tom's work. I believe I read, God, I wish this wasn't right in the spread so I could see this more. But look, I mean, look, they're even telling you about the cigarettes. Deep weave filter, deep cured blend. Makes me just want to go out and smoke some cigs. It doesn't. It's just a habit I never picked up. Glad I didn't, because I know how hard it can be for people to quit. Viceroy's got it at both ends. Got the filter, got the blend. Another one for cigarettes, the Battle of Echo Cave. This face is beautiful. Great 3/4 from behind angle. Tough angle to draw. Chip Martin College Reporter. Bell Telephone System ad. Chip Martin College Reporter meets the night people. You can really tell that Neil Adams was influenced by this guy's art. Oh, the one page for Neil Adams. One page. God, I wish they would have gave Neil more than one page. Right here, this is a Neil Adams ad. before he got into comics. I wish he would have got more than one page. I've seen a lot of his advertising stuff, but it'd be cool to have a whole book of it. And this is Dick Ayers with Continuity Associates, which is Continuity Studios, Neil's company. Dick penciled it, Neil inked it. You can really tell Neil inked it. Neil's inks are very heavy-handed, and when it came out through Continuity Studios, they expected that Neil Adams-esque look. So that's what they are hiring, and that's what they got. This ad over here is from 1966. I believe Neil broke into mainstream comics around 69, maybe 68, something like that. But this is just so nice. I love the inks on this. Gorgeous. It's gorgeous, I tell you. Mort Meskin. These are comps for ads, and then some storyboards that Mort did. This is some more Mort Meskin work. These are all comps that they'd show the ad agency so they could get kind of a visual of what they wanted to do, and then they'd shoot from that. Joe Simon. We all know Joe Simon of Captain America fame, doing some ad work. Wally Wood, or Wallace Wood, doing some ad work. Ken Penders. This is from, it doesn't say the year. Oh, wait. Nope, that doesn't say the year that's from. But I'm pretty sure it's in the late 90s. And then, of course, John Romita getting in one of the Marvel ads for Hosted Fruit Pies. Love these ads. Couple more. These are Ross Andru and Mike Esposito ads. And then Daniel Klaus. These were between 1993 and 1995. Coca-Cola attempted to sell a new soda drink called OK Soda. So we all know that didn't last because I never heard of it. Jack Davis. Wonderful Jack Davis TV guide cover from MASH. We used to get the TV guide every week. Used to look forward to it. Another Jack Davis, Fireball Roberts, Ford Driving Presents. Look at him knocking out this car. Beautiful. Another Jack Davis from Miller, The High Life. It's the champagne of beers, yo. Get your Miller High Life on. And that's it. Now I'll share my screen and show you a few things I've done that can kind of fall into this category. So let me click over here to share the screen. So this is my website, and I have a section called advertising, and some of this stuff. This was done as a fake comic book cover for a construction company for a convention. So this is business to business. So unless you were in the construction field or whatever and went to this convention, you would never have saw this. So that's what that was. Just want to burn through. This was a big banner they had hanging up when you entered the convention. This was a poster they had at the convention. Let's see what else. They had me do single figure shots of certain people that worked at the company. These aren't real people, but these are real jobs. So this is like the equipment operator, safety leader, human resources. So different things like that. Quality control guy. Hey Val, how much do you charge for doing art for writers? Shoot me an email and give me more details because that doesn't tell me enough, and that's something I would discuss through email. My email is andysmithart@yahoo.com. Let's see some other stuff here. So these were business to business type ads that unfortunately nobody saw unless you were in this specific field, but it was fun. You know, I got to check off something off my bucket list of doing ads for comic book style ads. And this was a company I did work for 8 or 9 years straight. They would do these campaigns where they took the different people and made them, we made them into superheroes and stuff. Hey, Chris. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I love doing this type of stuff. It did stretch my skill set, no pun intended with this one, this Mr. Fantastic type of dude here. But it kind of did, yeah. But they were all very fun to do. Um, you know, they were written for me. And then one year, instead of doing panel pages, they just did single page things. Your ability to do both realistic and superhuman is impressive. Well, thank you. I mean, as a comic book artist, I tell people that unlike architecture or, uh, you know, I don't know, different types of art, medical illustration, a comic book artist has to be able to draw everything. This ad is so tall because I believe at print size, this was about 22 inches tall, and then whatever that is across. This was fun. This guy is obviously a speed demon type dude, so he's washing up a car. This is one of the first ones I ever did for him back in like 2008 or something like that. They were going for this Western motif. Even horses. That's right. Actually, there's one thing that's not on my website I have to show you. This was one of the first ones I did for him as well, the same time I did that Western one. This was for a real estate broker guy. Best I can tell you. Let's see. This was a real medical doctor. I did 3 doctors as superheroes back in 2015. Now, if you want to get real old, this is super tiny. Sorry, I can't make it any bigger. But that's about 25 years old. So is this one. God, I wish I could make this bigger for you guys, but unfortunately, it's a small scan. King of the Boggins, and then CBS Big Brother stuff. I did. This was for Ally Auto. These are all featuring real people, and they wanted real people in superhero type poses, and these are projects that they were personally involved in. So hers was school stuff, educational stuff. This was a banner at a trade show that was like 7 feet tall. So it was this one and that one. And I believe this was the funnest one. And the whole thing is all the medical equipment I drew had to be real. based on real medical equipment that this company makes. So yeah, oh yeah, Bally's Total Fitness. This is about 25, 26 years old. It's a logbook cover. Log your workouts. It's for Fidelity Investment, for the human resources guy, because he's a superhero of a guy. A poster for the premiere party of the season of The Flash. Couldn't really I was told not to really show his face, so that's what we came up with. And a soccer poster featuring some real soccer players for the Major League Soccer Player Association. So yeah, that's a flip through of some of that stuff. Just because Val asked about Marvel work, I can scroll up, show some Marvel work I've done. This is X-Men Forever, pencils. Yeah, this is all from an issue of X-Men Forever. This is fun because it's basically Gambit and Sabretooth, and they walk inside the Wakandan weapons armory. So it's just supposed to be tons of weapons. Fun 2-page spread featuring the Avengers. This was a fun page. I mean, this stuff was all fun. This was all written by Chris Claremont, so I got to work with Chris Claremont, so I'm not complaining. So that is some stuff I've done. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's get back to my mug. So that's it, guys. I just thought I'd go through this book with you one more time. This is it, Comics Ad Men. It's a great book. It's from Fantagraphics. The price is free. No, I think it was like 25, 30 bucks, something like that. It's 144 pages of goodness. If you like comic style ads, I can't recommend this book enough. It's really cool. This was one of the first ads I saw in my newspaper that I just loved, by Neil Adams. So, I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's so cool. Oh, one more question. I'm going to be bouncing out of here. Let's see. Val says, oh, you were also at DC? Oh, yeah. My first work was at DC in 1991. Is that where you met Ethan? Yeah, I met Ethan. I was still working for DC. I think I met Ethan back in the early 2000s, like around 2004, I think is when I met Ethan. So yeah, it is. But anyhow, guys, thank you for joining me today on this little excursion through this book. I'll do another book flip I'll just pick one off my shelf and do another one coming up. If you haven't got First Man, please go get it. What are you waiting for? The link is in the description. Grab yourself a copy. It's in my house. I got an order yesterday. It went in the mail today. The person should have it by the end of the week. So books are shipping out. Support indie comics, and I will talk to you guys later. So bye. Thanks for joining me.